I'm waiting for my students to join me. Let's see who's ready. It's 6 p.m. Moscow time, and I am here in Tenerife. So I'm sure somebody's going to go online with me too. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. For you guys and 2 p.m. for me. Yeah, just uh, some kind of mistake. Oh, hi, Tatiana.
Hello,
At
Vadim.
least
How?
at least I have you right now.
Yes, I'm always.
It's good. I like consistency when people follow the plan, so it's always good.
So, how is the
So
journey?
yeah, you can hear me okay, no problems.
No
No,
problems.
nothing like
I
that.
hear quite well.
That's good, okay, because I thought maybe Wi-Fi would not be good enough for this live session because I'm in Spain, Tenerife. But it's good
Oh, yeah, it's perfectly well.
because this
It,
this week I've been traveling this week, and so it's kind of funny because we also got the same topic. What a coincidence! Somebody might say, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I watch your stories on Instagram.
Thank you for being a true follower. I really need to build a great army of people who enjoy and love what the things I do. All
Yes.
right, well, we're still waiting. Okay, Julia is here with us. Hello, Julia.
Hello.
So,
How's it going, Julia?
I'm fine, thanks.
That's good.
I
That's
just
good.
started.
hmm Just started what?
I just started to work with the 11th week
Oh, the last. Okay.
traveling.
hmm hmm It's not the
Maybe
last week, but it's the last topic.
we will stop.
There's one more week, and which is just you. Let's say that where each of us is just a few moments away from our final week, and this week will be dedicated to repeating the topics, which will be strictly based on your spontaneous speech, and it is what everyone desires, including me and all of you. And this is why you came, or that's why you signed up for this course to get to the level where you would have no problem communicating, let's say, with anyone about almost anything, I'd say, or whatever is common, like that. So you've been through a lot of topics already. You've gained a lot of knowledge, I think, and a lot of expressions. Maybe some of them were familiar to you, but I'm sure that a lot of them they were quite new.
yeah, there were some new expressions. And by the way, I have a question concerning the last task of the week traveling. Uh, so there are questions only concerning the second story, and there are no
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
about the first
I
story.
know, I know, I know. Yeah, because that part was lost somewhere, okay, and the person who was in charge to provide that, she
Uh,
stopped working with me due to her personal reasons because she is in between jobs and she's quite busy. So it is what we got. But like I said, once I am back in St. Petersburg, then I'm working on voice recordings. So they will be narrated, and like I said, you're going to get an updated version of the entire course. So I'm sure right now it's only the second part. Okay, so and to some of you probably it will be less work.
yes. I just thought
Um,
it might be a mistake.
no, it's not. I mean, I'm totally aware of this. I try to fix that, but uh, right now it's kind of like it's called non comunicado, or like it's
I
probably Latin.
understand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just easier to wait and get in touch with another person who is more professional. But things happen, so we're going to get it fixed, no problem. Just take a deep breath, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I did today.
Yeah, okay. That's good. All right. Well, welcoming two more people to our live session. It's Olga and Valerie. So
Hi.
it's good to see you guys, especially Valerie, because you're not in your car going somewhere.
Yes, actually. Hello, guys. Yeah, today, actually, my teacher of guitar is kind of busy. He's having some shows tonight, so that's why he kind of put off and postponed the lesson. So that's
Gig.
why I'm
He's got a
free.
gig. He's gig. Yeah.
Nah, he's a good guy.
No, a gig. A gig is just
Ah,
like a
gig. No,
small
no, gig.
performance. Yeah, yeah.
Gig one. Yeah, he's actually he has got two projects right now he's working on, and he's in the band and something producing something. I have no idea what's actually about, but they're giving some little gigs, little shows.
Okay, great. And Olga, how have you been?
Hello, everyone. I'm quite all right. It seems to me that it's the last webinar today, no?
No, we're going to have one more.
Yeah, one more.
One more.
Well,
That's
yeah,
cool.
because we need to finalize, and like I
Yeah.
said, the next week will be strictly dedicated to spontaneous speech. So you will have different exercises which will include some expressions from each topic. So you should be, let's say, some kind of like you need to juggle everything, yes. So because when we have to speak about whatever it is, yes. So then you need to know different phrases. It's not only one topic because people they switch from one topic to another. They talk about job, then they talk about health. So in life, it's like everything. It's all together. Okay, it's not just okay. We finished talking about health. Can we switch to another topic? Okay, job. Okay, you stop talking about job. Okay, no, it's all together. Just like I was fired because due to health problems. Like okay, so it's already two job and health. Yes, and plus my girlfriend left me. Okay, relationships. Okay, already three. That's why it's so hard for me to wake up every morning because I have to take sleeping pills. Like again, it's like it's a mixture of everything. All right, today we're talking about traveling, and like I said, what a coincidence! I am traveling. I'm on vacation.
Good.
I don't
Are you
want to tease
enjoying?
you.
Are you enjoying
Yeah,
your time?
yeah, definitely yes. I don't want to tease you to show a spectacular view out of my penthouse. But it is. It is okay. On Airbnb, it's called Penthouse, and it has three levels. Like it has this beautiful living room, then kitchen right there in front of me. Then if we go downstairs, there are two bedrooms and two bathrooms, and I have my own private entrance to the roof where there's nobody. But I had to suffer the first time because as I arrived in Tenerife, then a manager who was responsible to meet me, when she met me, she told me that my place that I originally booked was unavailable due to some
Oh,
kind of error on the website.
oh my God.
And so, to my surprise, like imagine me thinking about what kind of vacation I can have, and then somebody tells you like, "Oops, sorry, no." And what she did, she took me to another apartment which was messy, dirty. It had maybe some people would say great view. Yes, it overlooked
Oh,
it overlooks the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, just like you're sitting out of the outside. Yeah, and it's like small patio. I guess that's what people call it, not really balcony. And yeah, you can sip your coffee,
in the open air, yeah.
slurping slowly. Yeah, and you can see the Atlantic Ocean. But then as you go back in, then there are no. It's called bed setting or liniens or
Mm.
sheets. They're all dirty. No blanket. Blanket is missing. Okay, towels are messy, and they're kind of like some what is this called? A spot, yeah, or stain of blood on. I don't know. Maybe somebody died there. I don't know, or maybe somebody was on a period. I don't know. Whatever. Well,
Lucky you.
It's-
and I understood like I cannot stay here. Okay, this is not what I imagined it would be. No, I just can't. And plus, moreover, I had ants in all kitchen cabinets,
Oh my gosh.
small little tiny ants. Yeah, but they were all everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. So I tried to reach out to her. She was unavailable, of course. Then I had to text the owner whom I paid,
Ah.
whom I had paid. Okay, this English guy, whom I had paid before, or who I paid before. Yes, in the first place, he said like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot check you in because my place is already taken." So I'm like, "Okay, so how did this happen?" So then and it was already late evening
Mm.
because I thought that miraculously that situation would somehow get resolved
Mhm.
without deep involvement on my side. But
Mhm.
no, no miracles when you travel. And then I had to find a hotel where I could stay, a place that would definitely be better than the original apartment. So I managed to find a place, but it was some kind of, I don't know, probably ran by Indians. Indians, yeah, Indians. Well, Indians like Indian people, okay? Because it had all that surrounding blankets. Um, if you ever been to India, you would understand what I'm talking about. Like this strange furniture. It's all dark, brown colors. It's strange design. You enter the apartment, and then there's like the wall literally in front of you. So there's no place where you can leave your luggage, baggage, your two suitcases. It's it's like dungeons. You know dungeons.
Yeah. Подземелье.
Dungeon.
Dungeons. It's okay. It's like the basement. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Подземелье. I like
Yeah,
this one.
where you would. Yeah, in Harry Potter, I learned this word from watching Harry Potter, like the dungeons or something like that.
Yeah. No. I good.
So I had to stay.
London Dungeon.
Yeah, London Dungeons. Yes. So I had to go back to the reception and talk to him. I said, like, "Hey, if I pay you a little extra, can you please upgrade me? What is the sweetest or the best suite you got here?" And he was very upset because probably he couldn't understand why that room was not or it didn't meet my expectations. It was great. And I
Oh
said,
my
like, no, I need
gosh.
the best you got. So he said, okay, fine. I see that you're suffering. Why don't I upgrade you for free? So he did that.
Free.
So he upgraded me, yes. And I went to it's I don't know, Lux, probably Deluxe, something like that. It
A
was
bit better. Yeah.
and yeah, to my standards, it was just like a normal room in any European country.
Yeah. Like bed and
But
breakfast hotel. Yeah.
here, but here it's considered to be the premium service.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They even have like two-star hotels. Two-star hotels. What is that? It's probably like hostel, but you pay more.
Oh my god. It was a shabby room. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus you have to share that room with somebody you don't know.
Hostels. Yeah.
Um, so then I talked to Airbnb support, and so I had a manager who was assigned to my case,
Mm-hmm.
and very I would say quickly we had resolved that situation. I
misunderstanding.
was Yeah, well, it's not misunderstanding. It's their mistake. So they added 100 years to my account. So
Mm-hmm.
they refunded me plus 100 years, and I had enough money to rent this penthouse for 6 days. So sometimes, like, you have to suffer. Maybe a night you have a sleepless
Bit.
night because I slept only 3 hours. But then the
Oh.
next day, you might have an absolutely different scenario, right? Where you would enjoy the rest of your vacation. So, and it
Oh.
is happening. So now I understand what I suffer for.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
guys, you have been in any difficult situations like that you didn't expect, or it was maybe something out of hand or out of blue, so to speak. Valerie?
Yeah, the thing is, now you say that, and I recall some facts about me being a group leader about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I was a group leader, I told you, I guess, and
Yeah.
there were kids, 20 kids that I was supposed to take care of, and we had 3 weeks in London. They submitted to schools to the lessons. They were attending lessons in the morning, and every person, each student in my group, they were supposed to live in the host families. Yeah, you know this one. Yeah, when you go
Right.
to England, you are supposed to live in the host family and go to school, come back home, have
It's
family
probably
dinner with
called homestay.
yeah, homestay, but it's called host family. It's
Host family.
in the British one, host. Yeah, host
Okay.
mother, host father, host like. So, and there was one trouble situation with one of my host families of one of my students. Actually, there was supposed to be actually, there was a family who was supposed to take care of two of my girls, and they had, these like double-decker bunks, bed in the room. But
Can
the
you hear me
thing,
okay? No
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Okay.
Two beds for two ladies, for two girls in the room, like a bedroom for two of them. But it was really teeny tiny one, like very small one. And the flat was situated in the block of flats in London. Actually, I've never been in any block of flats in London. We always stayed in zone 3 or zone 4, where people live in houses. So, and it was like a flat, like we do. We live in flats, yeah. So, and the flat was not really big. The room was tiny, and moreover, the landlady, the host mother, she
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
she told us that she had already had this room painted before girls coming, and there was a very
Yeah.
very strong scent of paint in the room. And
Send
moreover, yeah, the floor was covered with this carpet. They love it, this carpet floor, yeah, and it was very very dusty. The one of my students
Oh,
started sneezing, and her eyes became very red because she was really allergic to paint and to
so
dust.
perfect conditions, yeah.
Yeah, and she started crying. Amazing. And it was my first day in London being a group leader. So it was the first day of settling down. I was supposed to check every girl, every boy, what are they doing, where are they sleeping. And it was like a rush day for me, actually. I was supposed to be at many places during the day. But the thing is that I couldn't let her stay at that place because she was coughing and becoming, like strangling. Really, it was difficult to breathe for her, and maybe she was overreacting. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she, at that very moment, she was 13 years girl, 13 years old girl. And I couldn't do nothing. Actually, I called to the person who was supposed to be in charge of all the situation, and I started actually begging him for some assistance, helping, just finding out the way out for this situation, troublesome. And actually, he said that he can do nothing. He could do nothing, but he would try to fix it the next day. So I said, "But what shall I do today?" And then I
Yeah.
started
There's
using
still
this
today,
this wonderful method of urging people. I started crying myself, like, "Oh, my gosh, he's crying," and then, and he said, "Okay, Valerie, don't cry. I'll fix it up tomorrow morning." Oh, okay, that's right. So I stopped
Being
crying, and
hysterical helps.
yeah, but
Hysterical
actually,
helps.
I was really on the verge of hysterics. I was really on the verge. I was about to be mad as
Yeah.
myself. But the thing is that I took this girl to my apartment where I was accommodated. And we slept in one bed, and I couldn't sleep in one bed with her, yeah? So I slept on the floor with the actual blanket, and she slept in my bed. And it was a nightmare. So this is it.
Well,
So
probably
actually,
great. Being
yeah,
a
but
group.
yeah, but actually it was only one night, but it was unforgettable. So yeah,
Well, but
One
okay.
night,
So what
one
about
night, but in London.
yeah, but in
in
London,
London?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was in London, in London. Oh my god, it
So
was
what about you,
amazing.
Julia? Julia, Yeah, it's
Yes.
okay. You don't need to fall asleep. Okay, we're still good. Okay, I understand.
Hi, Juliet.
Yeah,
No, no, I don't fall asleep.
yeah. Because like,
Mm,
have you ever had any trouble during your
yes,
vacation or?
yes, I had some troubles when I traveled to Turkey with my mother and her friend, and we arrived at the hotel in the evening. We, of course, we had transferred to the
Mhm.
at the hotel. We check into the hotel at the reception. They greeted us. They were very kindly, friendly, and as a
Mhm.
result, they said that our room wasn't available. It would be available only on the next morning, and
Only
of
next
course,
morning. Okay, that's fine.
only the next morning. And of course, they suggested us to move to another hotel. It was straight to our hotel, but to say the truth, it was the hotel. This hotel had three stars, and when we went there, they gave to us the room, and we we thought that everything will be fine, but really we in that time we understood the difference between three-star hotel and five-star hotel because the quality of the water was very
Poor.
awful, made
Mhm.
poor, and of course the view. It was evening. I can say that it it didn't matter, but the view from the room was on farm, and that surprised us. But when we woke up in the morning, we had breakfast in this hotel, and then we went to our hotel uh, that was
That we
booked,
originally
and
booked. Mhm.
yes, that we
Originally booked.
originally
Yes.
booked, and at in the about 12 o'clock they gave the keys from our room, and everything was fine.
Mm.
Well, looks like just one night problem. Yeah.
In the three-star
Yeah.
hotel.
No, there was no problems with that. We thought that no, we can sleep there, and it was for the first it was the normal hotel, but there were some problems, and maybe most my mother and her friends were not ready for this hotel. Uh,
They expected more, yeah.
they they expected more. When I think that is just the
This
beginning
is
of
not what we
they
paid for.
showed us. Yes, no, maybe I can say that now that they showed us the difference between three-star hotel and five-star hotel.
There's one case, like I remember when I traveled to Egypt, and it was my first trip. I got my passport because I turned 27. I didn't go into the army, so okay, I kind of like skipped that. So that's why I had to only travel when I turned 27. Okay,
Mm.
to be proud of, maybe somebody might say, but I didn't want to waste my time. So I had some other plans for myself. And then when I stayed at a hotel, it was a three-star hotel somewhere in Egypt, in Hurghada. There was a couple, a pretty, I would say like senior couple from Russia. And a guy, it was in 2010, yes. So the guy had a camera with him everywhere. So he would go around the kitchen, and then in the dining room. He would video everything. Or yes, I didn't know why, but he was ready to argue with the staff. I don't know, just for any reasons. And but it was a three-star hotel, so I'm like asking myself, like, what do you want? You know, really, like for a three-star hotel, what do you expect that
Yes,
somebody's going to wash their hands before serving food? No, you don't
Yeah,
get
they do.
well, they do, but you don't get
Once in the
diarrhea
morning, yeah.
there, and it's fine. Okay, because I am, it always surprises me when people expect too much from the place where, let's say, you're not ready, you're not willing to pay more to upgrade yourself, but you want somehow miraculously to turn a 3-star hotel into a 5-star hotel.
Oh, it's all about
Really?
budget, yeah.
Just
Budget.
because you do everything. So when people will be afraid or would be afraid that, oh, okay, I might lose a job over this guy filming me. No, nobody cares. No. So, okay, what about you, Tatiana? Okay, you seem to be a very reasonable person. Like you plan everything before you travel, yes? Huh?
Usually, yes, I plan everything before my
Yeah.
travel, and um, uh, luckily, I've never had any serious situations. But I think 3 years ago, we went on a vacation to Thailand with my family, and when we arrived at the hotel, checked in, and came to our room. It was so we reserved a room for 2 adults and one child. And
Mhm.
when we came to our room, there was only one double room and no extra bed for, I mean, double bed,
Double bed, yeah.
uh, and there was no extra room for our child. So I
Oh,
had
it was an
to.
extra or a joint room.
Uh, it was one room, and
Hmm.
there was only one bed, double bed for 2 adults, and no extra bed for our child,
No extra
which
bed. No bed. No bed.
Bad.
Oh, no, no.
extra bed, yes, extra bed. I'm sorry,
Okay.
and so I had to come down to the reception and explain the situation. They checked my reservation in their database, and so the problem was
Hmm.
fixed immediately. They told us that uh, we were supposed to be accommodated in another room, and they just mixed something. So
Mix
we
something up,
moved
yeah.
mixed something up, and we moved to another room with. So everything was okay.
Oh,
It's
that's
not a
like,
difficult.
okay, yeah. If you just go downstairs and then you can
Yes,
sort it out with somebody from the front desk, then this is easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay?
yeah.
But
So,
I
but
don't think like it should be like a competition who has like suffered more, yeah? And who can get the prize? Okay, I was put in a room with
Who's
just painted
the
walls,
worst
where I had,
vacation?
yeah, the worst vacation, okay, where I had to sleep in my car. I mean, no. Uh, I think what we can learn from all those things, by the way, and that's my next question. But before that, okay, I want to hear what Olga has to say. You got anything for us, Olga?
Bad
To tell the truth,
experience.
I'm trying just to find out any disastrous holidays in my experience. But the only thing that comes to my mind is that I'm trying to get my visa for about 3 years already, and I can't do it. I'm not. But I still believe that one day I will get to the place where I'm planning to get. But
Definitely.
there was one holiday. It was quite long ago, but I still remember it. It was 2000. Can you imagine the year 2000? I was just a schoolgirl. Yeah, and I was a Girl Scout. And we went with a group of school children and with two group leaders. We went to the international camp. So it was in Russia, and we lived in a tent. But anyway, we went there with our big rucksacks, and we lived in a tent. And yeah, international camp with 6,000 people all over the world. It was really cool. But the thing is that on the fourth day, I think, but
Mhm.
I was too much, I think, active, energetic all the time, and communicated with, trying to get communication with all the people around. And once it was the fourth day of our stay, and we had too many activities and lots of activities there. And on the fourth day of my staying there, we played with some guys, and they dropped me to the river, and I broke my leg.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was, I broke,
No.
You win,
it
okay,
was
you win.
terrible. Can you imagine? how old I was? I was a young girl, a schoolgirl.
With a broken leg
I came
in
there,
the
yeah, with a
river.
broken leg. So so we had so many plans. I mean, we were planning
Ahead,
to
yeah.
after that we was near Saratov. We were planning to go to Moscow to have just an excursion. So many plans, and even in the camp we had 3 more days left. And can you imagine me with that plaster? And those boys,
Oh,
they
you
all the
had
time,
a cast, a cast.
yeah,
It's called a
yeah.
cast. Yeah,
And
cast.
all the time, those boys who just dropped me to the river, they tried to help me. I mean, how they could help me? They just hang me. No, carried me.
Carried.
Yeah,
Carried,
they carried.
yeah, or
They
maybe
carried
it
me.
pulled you, dragged
Yes,
you.
but it was still, I now it's funny, but at that time it wasn't funny at all, because when you live in a tent in a sleeping bag, just yeah. And yeah, that is, but
By the way, like
yeah.
by a lot and see like plenty of this in this, and I can definitely tell you that when you go through the step of your trip, and you do have to use them definitely. I'm not saying that you have to use them, but let's say when you go through passport control or through let's say when they pat you down, yeah. So I forgot a bottle of water when I'm traveling from Tenerife. I forgot. I put a bottle of water in my backpack, but it forgot. So I was to open my backpack, and so then a woman, she said like, okay, well, you look suspicious. We gotta pat you like so they down. Yeah, like there are a lot of interesting things that might happen to you. You never know which will lead. So that's why when you a list of like commonly used persons and you feel at least somewhat sick, yeah, and to I'd say probably a lot of people surprised. I'll say this: when you travel, you really need to have this advanced level of English. I mean, intermediate is more than enough to get you by. So, like all of you guys would be fine because uh, when people communicate, they use very basic phrases. But if you want to talk, let's say you want to spend an evening with somebody, then yeah, this is where you would need to go beyond this level, so that you would be able to say much more than just like please give me that or how much is this, but just like to pay for gas, to fill up the tank, you can even point. But there's another thing I also understand when you go to a farmer's market and where nobody speaks English, then you feel not that you're in trouble, but you feel uh, how
Limited.
powerless, limited, yeah,
Limited.
powerless you are. Like all of a sudden, you just like the oxygen was cut off.
Ouch.
You're, uno, duo,
Tres,
tres,
cuatro.
kilos.
¿Cómo
All,
estás? Yeah.
yeah, all of a sudden your brain starts searching for all those phrases from different songs, like maybe Offspring. You remember that? On a task, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
like you're looking for a phrase somewhere. Okay, I have it somewhere. I heard it somewhere. Okay, and then you say like "vamos, vamos, 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 rápido." Okay, just so
Oh
you
my
start
gosh.
speaking some rubbish or nonsense just to try to
Oh,
find the right. Estoy enamorado de ti. Okay, okay, that's not it. That's for another. That's for a girl. Girl, you want to pick up. Okay,
oh
what else do
my
I know?
god.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting when you need to learn another language. Not that you maybe really want to, but it's important for your uh, survival. Like you have to
Yeah.
survive somehow. And let's say if I had to stay here for a month, I would definitely start learning
Some
Spanish.
phrases. Mm.
Yeah, like in then because some of us are teachers, yeah, not a lot, but okay, some of us, okay, and you by traveling and finding myself, or let's say yourself, okay, talking about you, in different situations where you would not be able to use English, so you need to speak another language, then you understand how little a student needs to actually get along with people or to go by to survive.
Mhm.
And if you think about this a lot, then you understand what not to include in your materials, what can wait, what can be served later, okay, what's important, what's not important, what kind of priority you need to be focusing on. So because like we are, I think, and I will be talking about this in the future, uh, people who do not travel, people who or people who travel but unable to see those things, they fall into the trap of believing that the books they provide everything we need. So once we work with the book, we maybe believe, we hope that those guys, they are smart enough to think for us, to provide the material which will help us teach any student any level. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen this way. That's why I see many teachers, they start working when they teach kids, then it's a long list of vegetables, all numbers, 20 times a
Colors.
day, colors, yes, rainbow songs, and shark, yes, doot, 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 doot. Yeah, rain, 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 go away, but there's no rain here in Tenerife. So like, so all those things, they do not help because it's not what we speak with. And so it's kind of like students or people, they learn the language that they will probably never use. It has no practical approach, unfortunately.
Mm.
I don't want to be like a messiah or a guy who sends a message to people, but I see that they do not succeed, not because they're bad teachers, but because they do not understand what they need to be teaching to a student. And once a student learns what really working here in the real world, then they will be very thankful. And I understand that they will spread the word. Well, spread the word, you understand. Yes, like the word of mouth. Like that teacher is good, so that school is good, that studio is great, because they prepared me quite well for my vacation, and because people learn, let's say English, they learn for, I would say, a small number of reasons. Usually, they want to get a job, they want to move to another country. I'm talking based on my experience, or they want to travel, they want to feel some freedom, yeah, freedom of communication, or to be at least able to communicate somehow. Because, like I said, okay, so today, this morning, I was not able to communicate, and immediately I felt stupid. I felt being taken out, like isolated. It's just like the wall. People are talking around you, but you cannot be part of this. I look around and then I understand I am like behind the glass. I can
In the
see the
bubble.
action. Yeah, like in a bubble. Yes, I can see the action. Everything is happening. Okay, so people are running, talking, communicating, smiling, and I don't understand anything. Maybe Uno, and that's it. Just because I know the game. So, and then immediately you understand the importance of learning another language. And in our case, it's the number one, yes, language on the internet, and it's very popular. So, like, what I want to ask you, since you guys probably travel, well, you travel sometimes, not a lot, yes, but have you actually felt what I felt this morning? Have you ever been in a situation where you could understand the importance of speaking a foreign language, and why?
I
Because,
experienced.
okay, Tatiana, okay, please share your wisdom with us.
So, due to my job, I often travel to China, and English is not very popular in China. And even in Beijing last October,
Hmm.
I stayed at a small hotel, and the hotel staff didn't speak English at all, and they just and I don't speak Chinese at all. So, and we had to communicate somehow, and
Sign language, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Yes, and sign language and gestures, but
Body language.
body language, it didn't help at all. And they so they used their telephones and the translators in their telephones. They didn't realize I was from Russia. I don't know why they saw my passport.
You don't look like Russian one.
They didn't believe you.
I
Okay,
don't think
so
so,
okay.
but still they considered me to be not
Someone else.
Russian. So they just talked to the phone in Chinese, and Chinese gave the translation in English. And in this way, we communicated pretty well, and I got what I needed, and they understood what I wanted. And there was some problem with payment because we asked our colleagues in Beijing to book a hotel, and they paid for one night, and the hotel wanted me to pay for the rest period, and I needed the receipt for the whole period, not just for the period less than one night. So, but it was a little bit worn, but still we reached a consensus or something like this. So
Yeah,
sometimes,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And in these situations, I realized that I really need to learn Chinese, but I just don't want to. I I don't think I can devote a lot of time to learning Chinese, and otherwise it's no use
But
spending
have
But
you
if you
time.
had
started?
to say, yeah.
Yeah. Have you started?
No, I don't
No.
want to. Just don't want to. I need, but I don't want to.
But if you had to stay, you would.
Maybe, but it was only a few days, and it's quite enough using some telephone translators or something like
What
that.
do you think? Yeah, speaking about the fonts, okay, that there are a lot of apps that can let
Yeah,
you, yeah, just survive, easily. You say like, okay, all right, say whatever you want, okay, so you can use this voice to text option. So let's say a Spanish guy talks to me, and then immediately I can understand what he or she is saying to me. So do I really need, because with, let's say, with this availability of different apps that can help us communicate with anyone, do you think we are going to learn languages maybe more easily, or people will, let's say, they will give up on learning languages because why do I need to? I mean, I have this phone, so.
I guess the second.
And as teachers, maybe we in 10 years people will not need our service anymore.
Yeah, it is. It can
I
happen
don't
actually.
think so. I don't think so because a machine will never replace a human, I think.
Yeah, but
So
actually, as for the lazy students, the ones
the
who are
lazy,
not
yes,
really,
but for thoughtful students, it's no
yeah,
way.
mindful.
Yeah. Because there are some situations when no telephone can help. For example, my husband, we were in Thailand and it was the Women's Day, and he wanted to buy flowers for me. It's not a typical situation in Asia, I think, and so he asked in his basic English the hotel personnel where he can
Buy
buy
flowers.
flowers. Yes, they explained to him, and so he went to the market on foot and asked different people whether he was going in the right direction, and so he communicated in Thai language using his telephone. When
Hmm.
he showed this phrase on the phone to any Thai people, they just didn't understand
Yeah, it
what
doesn't
was
work.
written
Yeah,
there. Yeah, sometimes
Mm.
it doesn't work.
I
That's why I
tried
think,
that with a Chinese guy when I was traveling to Moscow, and he didn't understand it, and immediately he started asking me back, is it like this? What do you mean? I mean, I think that's what I understood from his, at least his intention. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Okay, so I have this app. Why are you asking me? I mean, you see, I am totally inept. So I don't know. Like I tried to just type something in, saying like, "Okay, thank you very much, good night," and how hi, okay, and then I went straight to sleep because so like, see, the app can fail you many times, and then what are you gonna do? Mm, Nothing. The phone might get broken. Let's say this app is not, it doesn't work well, unfortunately, because there are different dialects and different scenarios of how, let's say, the language works, and so they
Yes.
cannot predict everything. And sometimes you might say something even vulgar, and you might disrespect or that person.
Yeah, like profanity.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it's profanity.
I
Yes.
think no electronic translator can clearly understand the slightest diversity in meanings and context. They just take the first meaning of some word, and the context is very important. Sometimes one idea can be displayed in different ways, and I think only a human being can understand what is the right word for this situation and what is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk. Okay, guys, let's talk about how this course has been going for you because it's the last topic. Again, next week, again, you're going to be speaking spontaneously based on every topic you learned. So, yeah. So, what do you think? Like a quick reply would be sufficient. All right, Tatiana. Okay, why don't you continue since you are on the screen?
Mm. So actually, the last lesson for this week, talking about my story about traveling,
Hmm.
I tried to speak spontaneously, and I think I managed to do it, and I hope successfully. Uh, well, I think this course, of course, helped me, but I still have to work more on my spontaneous speech, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Like me too. I mean, there's no end to perfection.
Of course, but I think there are some situations when I stumble so into words and try to find the right words, and so I should work more.
Work more, okay, work harder, and I think it's also based on maybe your, let's say, speaking ability. Because, like I speak, I converse pretty fast in Russian too, so my mind probably works this way because I've been trying to think about this a lot, and some people told me that this probably my speaking ability is based not on how many words I know, is just like how quickly I can connect to my thoughts. So because when I speak, I don't really use a lot of complicated vernacular. Okay, is just the ability of connecting words because I am kind of like a chatterbox, and I've been doing this for so many years. Yeah, and even when I attended Mormon's church, that's what I did. I would always repeat phrases a lot. I would ask a lot of questions, and this is just kind of like a part of my nature. But some people, they're not like that, so they're built in an absolutely different way. So they might know more, but they're maybe not very. They can't use those phrases easily, so they don't just pop up or come out right. And I think what you probably need to do, you need to work more on just describing basic, trivial things, like so that you would get the hang of it. Because like the more phrases circulate, like around, let's say, yeah, the more they circulate, so the easier it becomes. Like I want to tell you a few things about driving here. When I started driving here, the first day was a nightmare. It was quite difficult. First of all, I hadn't been driving for more than a year, so I kind of like, it's not that you forget, but it's just you get kind of like disconnected from the like everything, like traffic rules, how you even switch paddles, and so on. So you have to learn it again. Of course, it's already there, but you still need to get some practice to drive smoothly. and they're kind of like, I would say, a bit different. Well, not rules, but different kind of driving style here, I'd say, or driving culture. Okay, so they don't have any traffic lights. Like in Russia, it's pretty easy. Okay, you see red, you stop. Okay, you see green, you go. But here, you would see a lot of road signs or traffic signs, and you need to read them fast. And so if you misread them, then you turn not where you're supposed to turn. Then you have to take another roundabout because their, I would say, traffic system is based on roundabouts. And
Mhm.
sometimes a roundabout might have 4 or 5 exits. So if you miss one, then you will go to a place you probably don't want to go to because another roundabout will be in 1 or maybe 2 or 3 kilometers. And then if you miss that one too, then you're kind of like you get lost. And but why I'm saying, okay, why I'm talking about this? I'm talking about this because it's related to your learning ability, because when you have to learn, because we're human beings, we learn every day because this is our nature. A lot of people might think that learning is only related to going to school and then university, maybe your job, and that's it. No, because here, like, you have to, if you want to rent a great house, you have to learn how to use a platform, a website. You have to learn how to communicate, to pay, like how to find that, how to use a navigator, how to understand that navigator in English, because I use it in English also. I like to suffer a lot because I know that it takes me to a new level. So if I don't suffer, like it's easy, I don't really learn anything new. So navigators in English, okay, it's difficult to drive. It's my first day to drive. Yes, I don't know. And I can tell you one thing, that after a few days, let's say today has been what, my third day here driving, and things become quite, they just get easier. They just get easier. And why I started talking about this, because UDA channel and a lot of people who probably maybe do not really, or have not reached this level of being spontaneous, yes, or speaking spontaneously. It's when you talk about the same things over and over again, then it becomes quite easy. But when you switch from a topic to a topic, let's say in our course, it's mandatory. You just have to do this. There's no any other way. But later, you can work with all those materials that we provided. And if you talk about this for, let's say, a few rounds, you'll see that every round will be easier. Let's say I was going back home from another location, and I didn't need to use the navigator. So for the first time, I know how to get back home. And this fear, because like the first day was very nervous for me, and I felt like I was like, I had like 65 IQ level. Where do I need to go? Where do I turn? Oh my God, is it right? Really right? Or maybe it's not right, or maybe it's straight or left. No, it's right. I mean, this is my right hand. So I felt like a complete idiot, hating myself for not really understanding what the navigator was saying to me. But once you do this more and more, because I don't do anything new, so my brain can adjust very quickly to this stress, and then it becomes my routine. So I've noticed that it's easier for me to read the directions. They so I just one glance, one quick look at the screen, and my brain can already understand, like, okay, 600 meters, I need to turn right. The first day, I had to look at the screen on my phone, not at the road, because I was so afraid to miss the right turn. I was afraid to violate traffic rules, to break, violate, because like I just got my driver's license back. Okay, what if I lose it again? Oh, no, 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 no. So the fear like took over my thinking ability, and I became like a couch, not like a potato man. Okay? Like just big potato head, no brains. So do this more and more, and then until it becomes your routine. Like that's what I recommend. So work with every material once again. So talk about, let's say, traveling. Let's say if you had to explain it to somebody, not like your own story, but just let's say you're teaching a kid, or maybe you're teaching a guy who Just moved to St. Petersburg, but all his life he's been living in a small village. And now, because thanks to his new job, he saved some money and he is ready to travel. So, but he doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know how to buy tickets online. Okay, just a completely outcast, a complete outcast, not connected to this world. Doesn't know anything. So you have to tell him, step by step. Like, okay, first you go to this website. Okay, you need to, on the left, you will see the menu on the left. It drops down. So you choose the second, yeah, you choose the second title. Yeah, and then like that. So you would have to explain to somebody. If you do this a lot, then you will see how how easy it will become for you to talk about this topic. Like get in line. So use it more. Use it from like explaining to somebody than describing your own experience. Okay, or maybe let's say if you had to talk about this place, like, oh, so to get to Tenerife is probably quite easy. You have a few options. Let's say you're kind of like a blogger. You need to tell people what steps they need to take in order to get here, where they can find the right accommodation or accommodations, and what the steps they need to go through if they want to rent a great place, what they need to pay attention to. Like all those things, just like imagine. And then again, you have to video yourself. You have to film because I see that thanks to social media and social networks, started being more relaxed when you film them, when they film themselves. They don't feel so much stress as much stress as before because like let's say 10 years ago, are you filming me? You filming me? Turn it off. Right now, nobody cares because everyone is walking around with their phone in their hand. So yeah, and people really ignore you. They don't really even look at you. Like here, people just. I was filming eating, and they didn't really care. Okay, hold on a sec. Yeah, welcome. Okay, welcome back. So this is what I would like you to do. Do not just put it off the materials that you got. Do as many rounds as you need, or let's say like me, drive as long as you need to get used to this stress, and then the stress becomes your daily routine. It's easy. Like that's why I like driving so much because I like the stress. I like the stress. I like to go through this and just get better. Like climbing that mountain. Okay, so a lot of people might say like, "Oh, Vadim, 171 meters." I mean, is this really a mountain? This is just like that's what we have in our town. I go to work like that. Yeah, but to me that was my first experience. I've never climbed anything. So that was my first mountain, okay, without any support, without ropes, no guide, nothing, okay. So I don't know the terrain. I don't know if I get hurt. So the feeling like I had to overcome this because when you look at the mountain from, let's say 1 kilometer away, you think like, oh, that's very high. Can I actually climb that? But when you get there and you take one step after another, you get to the top, you think like, oh, that's easy. Maybe next time I just should climb Everest. Uh,
No way.
so no way, but I want to inspire you by going through challenges, and I understand that if I go climb it today, it probably I know the route, I know which track to take, so it will be super easy for me, and I will not no longer film or shoot proud stories because this is cheesy, nothing to be proud of. Okay, so I do this every day. Like, so do this every day, work with the materials, do a few rounds. Okay, you have to explain to somebody, you have to kind of like be a blogger, put on a different mask to be that person, and then it will be easier for you. You will find a perfect reason to use all of those expressions. Otherwise you will just put it away, you will forget, and I think the level will kind of like go down slowly, because once you reach the top and you're not trying to be on that top, then you're kind of like sliding down slowly. That's what I feel. So hi, Mary has joined. Okay, I don't know if you can talk, Mary. I had to mute you for a few minutes because there was some incoming noise. So if you can unmute you, then I would like to ask you a question. If you have ever had any trouble traveling, and how you got out of that trouble, how you solved that problem. If you want to unmute yourself, it's on the top. Okay, you're good.
Once when I traveled to United States, when I went there for the first time, despite I was learning the languages, I couldn't understand anything. The accent, I was like mixed. This was the only one problem and it took me like I think 2 weeks to get used to the accent, to the people talking very fast, and especially the Afro-Americans. And that's it. And when I was a student, I was working in a bar, and it was really hard when you would try. I was a student, I was doing the waitering job, and I didn't having the music and trying to understand what people are trying to say was really hard. And then I didn't have any problems. That's it.
Well, we were talking before. Oh, okay. Yeah, before that, we were talking about different, let's say, worst, the worst case that people had to go through during their vacation. Like, let's say, Olga, she broke her leg. That was a lot of fun for us to listen to. And how she got out of this. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. So, Mary, I understand that, you're quite busy with your kids, and it's hard for you to study. You probably have no time, and being a mom and to work, I guess, full time. You work full time, but still studying, or yeah, you have to study. So how has this course been working out for you? Have you actually learned anything new? You need to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah,
actually, frankly speaking, I haven't learned much. Concerning the phrases, but it was really difficult at first to talk on the camera. And when you start talking to the camera, you get lost of your train of thought, and you got shaky hands, shaky voice, and this is a bit difficult for me because I'm just behind, because really sorry, but I have no time, but I will try to. And concerning the phrases, I forgot how to retell text, and was a good practice, I would say. And what is more, I listen to other people's stories doing their homework on YouTube always, and I see how they progress. That's it. And I had only one more friend from Ufa, it's Vika, and I also saw her watch her doing homework. That's it.
So does it inspire you when you see others continue going through this course? So they do not stop, they don't give up. Yeah, they have those dull faces, but they're still going through. They're probably sleepy and bored, but they don't want to turn back. No. Does it inspire? Does it help you to continue your path? Oh, you need to unmute yourself. I always mute you because when I talk, there's some kind of... Yeah, does it inspire? Does it help you to watch others?
I try to watch others, yes, and it's I always do homework at night, and yes, I can see that if other people can, I will do it too. And
Okay, that's great. Okay. I see, like you like to be a person of a few words. So that's fine. Okay. For maybe a first time here. Okay. All right, guys. So let's talk about future. Are you going to travel in the near future? Is anybody traveling next month? Uh, Julia, I want to listen to what you have to say. Julia, yes, you're sitting on a beautiful
Yeah,
couch. Okay.
I think it's common couch. What can I say about my experience? I understood
Yeah, course,
during this course.
course.
During this course, I understood that I really forgot how to learn new words, and it was very difficult for me for the first time to learn new words. And I really, to say the truth, I don't like cramming, and so it was very hard for me for the first time learn new words and different collocations. And really, on this week, I forgot my earphones at home. I usually watch videos on my way to the work, and so I just have the list of new collocations, and I went through the list of new collocations, and I tried to speak on to speak using these collocations in my mind, and I really understood that it is very interesting and easy. I just took new collocation and tried to use it in different situations to describe this in different situations, and it was really easy for me. As to say about my experience, I didn't travel a lot, so for the first time I thought it would be hard for me to talk about this topic, but I understood that I have friends and maybe my director who traveled a lot, and I saw how they prepared for this trip and how they talk about this trip when they came from abroad. And really, I just understood that I need to use these collocations. I just need to listen to them and to repeat them maybe 3 times, 5 times, and I should use them in different sentences. Of course, sentences maybe 2, 3 sentences, and as I saw,
Yeah.
I have results.
Well, I can definitely say that it's better, because of how you started. And I always listen to how students flows. That's to me like one of the best markers. So you need to test this. Let's say they're that we all make mistakes, and pronunciation is what you need. That's why we share reading, because let's say you say course, but it's course, yeah.
Yes, of
But
course,
can you
yes.
understand that? Can you understand that? It's not about that. Okay, we all make mistakes. So you will listen to somebody saying it right, and you like always need to be open for listening, open to listening. So like let's talk about this. Like, why is he saying course? Okay, I said course, so maybe it's cool. Okay, like I'm always attentive to how people pronounce things, and so if I see that, let's say 3 years ago, I used to say he says, it says, he said. So I went to I met Joshua, okay, because I hired him to work on my flow, blends, pronunciation, and then he told me, the first told me when I met him, like, hey, why do you keep saying it's incorrect? And so at that time, I had already been studying English for more than 10 years and teaching, okay, but I had that mistake. I don't know, somehow it slipped my mind, and I had nobody correcting me. So that's why if you do not have enough, let's say you can't afford a teacher, okay, so then at least what you can do, you can work with different texts. Like I'm not talking about vlogs because vlogs that's more for understanding and working on your vocabulary. But let's say, yeah, yawning, okay. Uh, I know, I understand that. Okay, people want to sleep. Okay, it's pretty sleepy. Yeah, but if you listen to the text and you pay attention by doing shadow reading, you will naturally get better. I want to give you a little exercise before I say goodbye, and then meet next week. So the exercise, I want to see how spontaneously you could speak on traveling. So what I want you to do, I want you to use the first 10 phrases, and I'm going to copy paste them again like that. So we have to get away from it all, to go on vacation, to pack one's bags, okay, suitcases, to get to a place, to apply for a visa, and to get a visa. Okay, what I would like you to do, I would like you to think about your spontaneous speech or a piece of that speech where you would, in a different or in different various ways, you would use those collocations. You don't have to use them one after another, but I need your thinking process. Let's say you're thinking aloud. Like people like to do this. They sit on the couch and think. And then mom, let's say somebody comes up to you, mom, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to? I'm talking to myself. All right, get away. Go do your homework. Shh. Shh. Yeah. So do this. Okay? Take a moment, take a minute, then think about your spontaneous speech. How you would do this. Why? I'm not going to help you right now, but later I will help you. I will tell you how I do this. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, we go.
Can you copy paste it to WhatsApp chat, please? Because I'm still behind.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Right. Being behind is great.
Not
Careful.
great.
I need to pick on you.
Somebody should.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh well, not a lot. I want to see how you would connect those phrases in your spontaneous speech because the connecting part is the hardest, I think.
But if it is spontaneous speech, is it necessary to be prepared? Why do you give us
No.
1 minute?
I just want to give you some time to think about your spontaneous speech. But okay, you don't need to write anything. You just like to get yourself together. Prepare maybe. I don't know. You need to
Pull
drink a
yourself
glass of
together.
wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sip some water.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Or maybe read the phrases. But I think,
Please.
like Valerie, she needs to read them.
Yeah, because I have never seen them before, actually. Let's see. Okay, done.
Okay, I'll give you 1 hour to get ready for your spontaneous speech. This sounds so crazy and illogical.
Yeah.
I have memorized my spontaneous speech. Can I start?
Yeah. By the way, today I've come across one article, and there was a list of professions which, according to the writer of this article, are going to die out in the nearest 10 years.
Oh my
And
God.
by the way, interpreter was included to this list of professions. I was a bit shocked because I really can't imagine. That is to the thing we discussed before. I mean, using the different apps, smartphones. But as for I was a bit surprised.
And
endangered
professions,
even lawyer, just lawyer, interpreter. I was I was surprised.
But it's good when somebody dies out, like let's say this profession will die out, but there will still few people will stay and they will be quite expensive.
High rocketing, I would say.
It will be like, it's like to find a dinosaur, the fossil.
The thing that I really like about you, Vadim, is that you are trying to make, you're thinking like a real entrepreneur, how to say it, because you know how to make money, it seems to me, you know.
Right.
Speaking about
From
money.
yeah. Just
Well,
I'm a
because
bit
when you're
afraid
being
about the
exceptional,
profession, but he's thinking that, but in this case,
everyone
they'll
died
make
out.
more
Okay?
money.
So it's me. I am the one who stayed. Okay, I'm alive. Okay, you can buy a ticket to see me
Yeah.
translating.
Yeah.
Nobody does this anymore. Okay, so now, yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's get back to Let's get to spontaneous speech. Who wants to start? Who is anxious?
I am.
All right,
Oh
go.
my gosh. So, as far as I understand, I need to talk spontaneously about traveling my own experience or just anything.
No, you need
Yeah,
to phrase this.
anything.
You can talk about
Just talk
what, but
spontaneous.
Just talk. Okay, I can do that anyway, easily. So, guys, here is the deal. The thing is, traveling it's a well-known fact that traveling nowadays becomes more and more popular. People travel everywhere. They need to get away from their daily routine, to get away from it all. And actually, sometimes when they go on vacation, first of all, they need to pack their bags. Well, actually, it's not a problem for me packing my bags because I got only one suitcase. And actually, I usually start with everyday things, clothes I need for my vacation. So the next thing to think about is to think through the route you're going to take or the places you're going to visit being on vacation. Actually, and the most important thing, think twice about how to get to a place. And it means to book the tickets in advance, to pay some money, to rent a taxi, to book a hotel and whatever. And the last thing, and probably it shouldn't be the last thing, it's about applying for a visa. If you want to go abroad, everybody knows that we should get a visa. So be careful and think beforehand to get your visa, even before getting and spending a lot of money on your tickets, and even before packing the suitcase. That's it. Oh my gosh!
okay. Now, I will give you my feedback later. Okay, well, once I have listened to everyone. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who's next? That was good. Who's next? Olga, come on.
Yeah, chop chop.
Olga, come on, Olga. You can do it. We've done this many
Every
times.
time when I'm sick and tired of my everyday life, I really want to get away from it all, from my son, from my everyday routine, from this hustle and bustle of my life. And really, I'm just thinking how I can go on vacation. It's not an easy thing, but anyway, I just want to get away from it all. And by the way, right now it's just the period when I'm thinking it over. As for packing my suitcase, it's not an easy thing because traveling light is not my option. It takes me about 3 days to pack my bags, but anyway, and about the places. I have been to Turkey. You know, Turkey is, I think, this is the fastest and the easiest way to where you can spend your vacation. But I've been to Turkey so many times that right now I'm just thinking of a of a new direction. Yeah, and right now I'm thinking how to get to new places. And the visa. Yes, the visa is one of the main points. For example, I'm planning to travel with my kid, but I have already got my visa, and he hasn't got it. And we should apply for his visa, and it is often quite hectic, and it takes a lot of time because I have to go to another city. Yeah, there is no visa centers in our town. There is all I think I can tell you about my thoughts concerning traveling right now.
That's very good. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, next. Okay, Tatiana.
Okay, so I like traveling very much, and I would like to tell you about my last year experience. During my summer, we usually go on vacation to the seaside, but last year we couldn't make it, and I started to planning the destination where to get away, and I chose Japan. I looked for air tickets, and I found cheaper air tickets, and I bought them online. I didn't have to get a visa to Japan, as I have already had my multiple entry visa to Japan. But as I was going to travel with my son, he needed a visa, and so I applied for a visa
Mhm.
on his on behalf of him. So, and as for my visa, it's valid until 2020, 21, I
Mhm.
think 21. So after getting visa, we packed our bags and traveled to Japan, and we had a very good experience and very good journey.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, and I forgot one expression.
Okay.
To
No
book
way.
a hotel after buying online tickets, I booked a hotel, of course.
Okay. Okay. Great, Kate.
So,
Julia, now it's your turn, and then Maria.
Okay, tell the truth, I haven't traveled for several years. I can't explain why it's happened, but it's the real life. And sometimes when I'm very tired and exhausted after my work, I really want to get away from it all. But I can't do this because I don't have a valid visa, and really, if I want to travel maybe to Europe, I need to apply for visa and to get visa before. Sometimes I really want to travel only on weekends. And I think that nowadays it is very comfortable. You can buy tickets online, book a hotel online, and you can be in Europe in after 3 or 4 hours if you have a valid visa. And really, I want to get visa, and I think that this summer I will go on vacation. It doesn't matter where I would go. I want to go on vacation, and I think that it is very necessary to have a valid visa. You can buy tickets online, hotel online, and you can pack your bag and just leave your country, and in a few hours we can be abroad. I think it's
No, that's
very
good.
interesting
Excellent.
and helpful.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, quite natural, I'd say. Yeah, the way you said it. Okay, Mary, you can unmute yourself now.
So if you're stressed out and you decide to go on to get away from it all, and once once you decide to go on vacation, you have to choose the destination. And for example, I really want to go to see my brother again. He lives in America, and so it's quite far, and I want to apply for a visa, and I have to, it's really hard to get visa in Russia, and that's why I met some people, and they advised me to go to Turkey, to go to some Kazakhstan, where you can get visa and to have this interview in 1 or 2 days, and it will be no problem. You will have only like to spend some money on it. And well, of course, so once you bought the tickets, booked the place where you will stay, you have to pack your bags, and it shouldn't be the last minute thing. Otherwise, you will miss some things, because I always, when traveling, I always check what I can carry with me, or what I'm not allowed. And so
Okay.
I'm not sure about other phrases. I haven't heard.
Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. Think. Okay, you're fine. Okay. I'll just read the feedback. Okay. So and then I'll say a few words how it can be done. Okay. Valerie, probably Valerie speaks a lot, and I think Valerie, she's a pretty spontaneous person. Okay, I don't know why she decided to kind of like choose this teacher style, and I think that it can't really describe the full potential of Valerie's power, but this is what she did, and so she is judged for that, or based on what she said. Okay, so when we practice phrases, then it's better when you make it very personal, like Olga did, and some of you. Okay, why personal? Because personal information is better remembered. Okay, so we're not practicing just using those phrases. What we want to make it related to either our experience. It can be past experience. Is the experience that we want to go through, or it's currently what we're maybe planning, or some, anyway, it's related to us personally. Okay, and then you make it easier for yourself to remember, because you really need to use those phrases. They are about you, not about just somebody. Okay, so next, and that's what Olga did. Okay, but Olga needs more connecting phrases, because I see that it was hard for her, because it's better when you think about this, like in the way Julia did. Julia used a great number of, I think it's just like a good number of connecting phrases. I think is because maybe what if, like those things, they do help you to move from one phrase to another when you practice. And when you speak, when you converse, when you talk, this is what you do, and it's quite natural for us people to transition from one point to another by using different introduction phrases. Yes, different opinion phrases. I think, I believe, I beg your pardon. Like all those things, they help us get smoothly from one point to another, and so then you will have no any problem communicating, because your speech will flow. Because what happens, you kind of like jump from one point to another, or let's say you have a bridge that you can go over. It's always good. So the more bridges you build, the easier your speech will be, because you need to transition from one phrase to another, from one idea, thought to another. And if you cannot do this, then you will have to fill this gap, this lack. You will say like meh, I think, like, yeah, and maybe it's okay to some people, but it is what I am trying to avoid. Speaking English, Russian, doesn't matter, because I believe that, let's say, when you have been speaking Russian for so many years, so why don't you learn how to do this well? Yeah, because people like to listen to you. You sound great. You sound like a person who is actually quite intellectual. Yes. All right. Anyway, going to the next person, Tatiana. Okay, I see that Tatiana, she chose also a great way of retelling or like practicing those phrases. The story was based on her past, which is good, okay, natural. But I see that Tatiana, you're trying to build, you're trying to prepare this, let's say, springboard, or this platform, this jumping platform, before you can get to another phrase. Like you prepare. Now, oh, I'm ready to jump. Okay, now everything's prepared. So, but spontaneous speech, it's, let's say, you're kind of like sharp, maybe like Valerie at some point. You're at some point you're fast, so you don't need to prepare the foundation for another phrase. And this is probably where you can find something that you can work on this part of fluency, because that's what I call, because I see that you're trying to be super careful, you're thinking, yeah, and this is what you need to challenge yourself more. You need to kind of like trust yourself too. I'd say risk more, because based on your personality, I understand that you like to plan everything, which is quite normal, but sometimes you just have to risk. And then in language is, you can learn very easily when you risk. Let's say I go to the market, I overcome my fears of making mistakes, I overcome my fear of being misunderstood, of being laughed at. Okay, so I say like, okay, fine. They can laugh, they can smile, they can call me names, stupid Russian, okay, and so on. But anyway, I will get what I want. I know why I'm here, and I don't care. I mean, I know that tomorrow I will come and I will sound better. 1 month, probably you will guys think, oh, it's such a nice guy. Okay, so he's trying hard. All right, that's Tatiana. Risk more, okay, and do not prepare this base foundation like you're building like a big camp before you can go to another location. No, just transition faster. All right. Julia, okay, so you're good. Okay, you're thinking that was your very natural thinking. Yeah, good point. Like, I mean, everything was good. Just you just need to work on your grammar, I guess, so you would not make those mistakes. But everything was good. It was quite natural for you to talk about those phrases. Sounded like you maybe got prepared, but I know I gave you no time to prepare. So, all right, Mary, I see that you're still nervous and due to lack of speaking because you don't really speak a lot, and this is why you are being nervous because that's quite natural. And it's good that you are here. Unfortunately, you haven't been able to attend every live session because I can definitely guarantee you would feel much better. You would feel more relaxed because I understand that you're not really familiar with each of us. So it's maybe your second time you see those faces. Yeah, you don't know if these people are kind or maybe they are very strict and angry.
But I
No,
watch. But I
no, I'm
watch
cool.
all
Okay, but you understand where I'm coming from. Yeah. So again, pure connection phrases. Didn't really use a lot of phrases and work on that. So it's like what if? Okay, where's that? Okay, I can't find her. Okay, oh, you're right here. So try to work on your thinking ability. Let's say you're thinking aloud. So what if I took a trip to? Okay, well, so what do I think? What do I need to do? Probably maybe I should get a visa, but well, because my visa is no longer valid. Yeah, right. And so like you would think about this aloud. Let's say if it's spontaneous. Okay, so. And I see that it's hard for you, Mary, to pass from one point to another because okay, so it's because first of all you don't really speak English a lot, and I see that it will always be stress for you and for people who do not really speak a lot because it has to become like everyday thing like brushing teeth. So if you do not have enough practice, then just create this. Create okay. So tell yourself a story. Make I don't start a blog on Instagram. Invite the friends who care about you to comment on what you're saying. Like, let's say you can even have like your own diary. Day one, let's say you want to learn a new habit. I want to wake up at 6 a.m. And then as you wake up, you describe your feelings. You talk about your plans. If you do this every day, like this blog will give you a purpose because without a purpose, it's quite unnatural for people to talk. So if you just stand in front of the mirror, looking at yourself and talking, then you might want to call 911 maybe, I don't know, because you're going crazy. But if you create like a good reason and you just you follow it, let's say just it's your dream, then you can also mark every video, let's say video 1, video 2, video 100, 10, and then you will be able to listen to yourself and to your progress. And trust me, nothing like your own personal progress motivates better because you compare yourself with your yesterday, with your own self yesterday, or let's say 1 year, from now. 1 year from now. Yeah, okay. Let's say 1 year from now, and then you compare like, oh, so that was 1 year ago, and that's me today. Wow, great. A lot of hard work, but now I sound better. I speak better. So you will respect yourself, and this when your respect is built on achieving your results and goals, then you get more confidence. I'd say positive confidence, not like this self-assurance, like or oh I can do it. Okay, look at me, yeah. But just that this deserved confidence that you work hard, and confidence is important with like in all aspects of life. All right. So what I wanted to tell you, okay, a few things that you guys probably can benefit from me. do not make it comfortable. Okay, so if it's too hard for you, go for it. Let's say like, do not like, okay, like Valerie had a good start, but you know, it turned into this teacher's point. Let's say like, okay, well, I'm tired, I want to get away, so make it personal. Like, oh, I'm tired, I want to get away, but unfortunately, I cannot plan a trip right now. But I do want to get from it all. So what do I need to do? Probably I need to talk to my boss. Maybe he could give me a few weeks. Okay, and then I really want to go on vacation in my family. Like you would just like start this natural. It's good when you talk about like Olga. Okay, Olga had a great scenario. Okay, but sometimes you don't have it. Okay, so if you talk about maybe job, you don't have a good scenario. And it's good when you follow the list because it's the hardest. When you choose the phrases which fall easily into your story, then it's too easy. Let's say like, oh, I need to get a visa, but you just started talking about to go on vacation, but right now you're talking about getting a visa, so it's too easy. But if you have to go through the list and without Tatiana, preparing, so you have to go through this fast, but it would still be like in Valerie's style, but related to you personally, like Olga's. So let's say if we put you guys all together, then we get a perfect spontaneous speech. Okay, that's my point. Okay.
Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so anytime. Okay, so next week, your guys going to work on your spontaneous speech. I think you will cry a lot before you go to sleep, and maybe it will be the hardest week ever. It will be a lot of stress because I will have to put you to test to see how well you can speak, and we will be able to compare the first week and then the last one to see how far you have gone. Yeah. Okay, that's all you want. Anyway, Kate, well, it's all for today. I guess you guys can get back to your routine, to your life. I hope that you are inspired. And just, I think I can do this. I want to show you what we got here. Okay, why not? Oh, that's a lot of light here. Yeah. But wouldn't you want to wake up to this thing? Huh? Like that would be great. You just step outside, and then this island is called what? It's like eternal spring. Yeah, it's always spring here. It can the temperature can drop down to plus 14 when it's winter, and then 31 or 33 during summertime. But if you just wake up to this, I just wanted to get inspired. I'm not a rich guy, so I can do the things I do because I just work hard. Okay, so no sugar daddy in my life. Okay, and yeah, and I don't have I'll take you to the lollipop. Okay, that's not my thing. I'll buy you candy. No. So it's beautiful. Okay, so work hard and make sure that you study English, so you improve your life in all aspects, not only the language but everything you guys do, because life is short. So get the most out of it. All right, thank you again for being with me. And see, I didn't cancel, okay, because I respect you guys. And so this course means a lot to me because that's like kind of like my little baby, so to speak. So, but right now we can say goodbye, and then I will see you next week. Next week we can celebrate. We will summarize everything. So I think it will be another good pep talk. Pep talk. Pep talk. Probably pep talk. Motivating. Okay, thanks again. So let's
Thank you
go.
very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Welcome. Okay. Love you guys. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So
Bye.